All right, welcome back. This is why I drive a beater BMW as a 26-year-old millionaire. This is a 09 E90 BMW 328i. I've owned it since 2018. It was my very first car. And listen, I prefaced this video as saying I'm a car guy, okay? I am someone who has loved cars since I've literally known them. I'm actually like looking at purchasing a supercar in the next 6 to 12 months. I just prefer, personally speaking, having a rock solid like financial position before making a purchase like that. Like I just want to make sure, and it's actually a bit of a detriment. Like I'm all for just buy the car, life is short, but I'm more for invest in assets that could pay for the car, which is what we're going to get into in a second. So 4 kind of relatively quick points here. The first one is I am literally, dude, just so obsessed with seeing my net worth increase and numbers just go up on a screen. If I could like dumb it down to that, it's literally that simple. But having my money, plain and simple, liquid, just having my investments, gradually increase is much sexier in my opinion and much more attractive than money being sucked in a supercar. And I'm looking at purchasing something that is not even that bad of an idea, not even that, like, it's called a hack, if you will. It's a 2017 2018 R8 V10 Plus. As long as I get a good spec with low miles, I should actually make money on that thing if I'm able to buy at a decent enough price. But for me, it's just like I want that money to pay for the car, right? And it's at a certain point, it makes sense to just get the car. Like I understand that, but this just dumbs down to everyone who I see buying an M4, buying the R8, buying a C63 when, dude, half their net worth is tied up in this car. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like you're making such a stupid decision. And I genuinely wouldn't change anything. I'd probably buy this car again, but I'd buy something with maybe a little bit less maintenance, because if you watch one of my recent videos, I talked about how this thing usually actually almost did break me financially on 2 separate occasions. So second point, this is more of an ego thing. I love flying under the radar a little bit and living well below my means, and just people like almost lying to the perception of like, yeah, like I don't got money, I drive an old ass car. And then when they watch my BizPath videos, or they listen to what I have about my business and how I started that, they're like, wait a second, like you've got money, like what the fuck, you don't look like it because you don't drive. I don't even have fancy clothes, I don't have a fancy watch, I'm a half decent watch guy. I don't really care for them as much as I do cars, but still, it's like I just don't care. I prefer my net worth going up in a stock or an asset-based investment rather than a car, right? So I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying, be careful. I guess that's like the main point that I try to lead home with. I really got to be careful with these goddamn speed cameras. Supposed to be going 40, I'm going a little over 50. I don't know when the hell this stupid thing fucking triggers. I should knock it down, shouldn't I? But that's kind of how I feel, right? So you just have to be careful, keep your burn low. That was my main premise with that whole thing, and that's pretty much it. Number 3, it's just easier, dude. It's just easier to drive around in this thing that I just don't care about anymore. Of course, I still, keep it tidy. I keep it clean. I literally washed it today. I gave it a good detail, but it's like, I just don't care. I don't give a fuck if some kid 2 years ago who totally rammed his door into my car, and it's like, well, fuck, like, what am I gonna do, dude? Am I gonna freak out? Am I gonna, ask him? Like, it's just so stupid. Like, it doesn't matter. I just don't care. I still park it pretty far, but it's like, I don't care. I'm at this point where it's like, dude, it's a piece of metal. It gets me from point A to point B. It's fun, mind you, but it's not my entire life. I'm not going to stress about it if something happens, right? Versus a supercar, I know how I am. I'm a complete opposite. I'd be like, holy shit, I got that money tied up in a car, and I don't even, like, what happens? What happens if someone dings it? What happens if insurance doesn't cover it? X, Y, and Z. You go through all these scenarios in your head. I can only imagine from buddies of mine that own supercars, and like, dude, it's a little stressful, but it's fun. Like, it's kind of the whole premise. So I get it, but it's just so much easier that I could just beat, and trust me, I beat the living shit out of this car. I may drive sometimes over the speed limit on a very nice safe back road for any police officers listening. I definitely don't go well over the speed limit. I definitely don't speed, okay? So anyways, it's just, that's maybe more of an ego thing too, is I like being, flying under the radar. I like just not caring. I like just being like super macho and very chill with it, and then being like, oh, what? This guy's actually, who he says he is. And I even get like kind of punked. I can only imagine the comments that are going to come with this. It's like, dude, you're driving an old car, like, how can you make POV videos? So I get it. It's just, dude, I just don't give a shit, right? I'll eventually get the R8. I'll eventually get the Huracan Performante. I'll do all that kind of stuff and, roll from there. Fourth point, and arguably my most favorite, is delayed gratification, but it's also my worst one, right? You don't understand really that cop totally just saw this on my face. I think he doesn't give a fuck, lovely, or he just didn't see. But dude, delayed gratification is arguably the best part of this whole thing, right? It's the journey of getting there. And I like, this sounds really cheesy to say, but I prefer being able to afford 10 R8s, 5 R8s in cash than actually buying one. And that's, like I said, that's kind of a detriment to my own thing. It's like, dude, at some point you just got to buy the car. You just got to actually fucking do it. Why be such a baby? Why be so scared? Just pull the trigger. Especially, again, I'm a car guy. I enjoy doing this. And at some point, dude, it's just, the journey stops and I keep moving the goalpost. I could have comfortably afforded this thing in summer 2023. That's when I was like really started making good money. The business with like solid foundation kind of thing. And I haven't pulled the trigger. I constantly keep moving the goalposts. And then when the BizPath channel took off, I'm like, oh, this would be sick if this summer this thing like pays for my, personal expenses, $5,000 a month. That'd be insane. Then I could buy the R8. It did that within a couple of months. We're making like very good money off the BizPath channel right now, off of the info products and mentorship. And now I'm like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's like, I've come to terms with this channel. What is that? I don't even know what that is. This channel, as long as it produces $3,000 a month or more, every single dollar from this channel will go into, that's an interesting color right there. I don't even know what kind of Porsche that is, but all of the proceeds will go into the R8 fund is what I'm calling it. It will go to purchasing an Audi R8. And I stopped caring. I love that BMW. I just don't care anymore. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is financial stability. What matters to me is just being able to take the income and cash flow from this thing, because all my other grounds are covered. I'm investing anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a month. I'm doing well financially, and it's just a matter of doubling down, right? So that's kind of my thing. I do have a list of talking points that I'm just making sure that I hit all the right things. But again, I think it just comes down to, dude, you have to just drive a beater car. Trust me, if you're trying to build your net worth right now, if you're in your money accumulation stage or phase, especially if you're in your early to mid 20s, buy assets that pay for the car. If you absolutely must, if you feel like it's going to do well, do that, but use it as an investment, use it as content. That kid totally just gave me like, what the fuck look, but dude, trust me, it will pay off if you invest every possible dollar. I'm not a fan of just going out and buying a supercar just because you can. When your net worth hits 50 or when you've got 50 grand, it doesn't make sense to buy a $50,000 car, okay? Trust me, take my word on that. As always, if you made it this far, I want to see you win. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please leave them below, and we will see you in the next one. Talk to you soon.